Hi there. How you doing today? Well, it's great to see you. It's JD from LearnGeek and Axonify. And as I'm sure that you are aware, I am currently in the midst of my ecosystem tour where I'm traveling about and sharing stories from my book, The Modern Learning Ecosystem. And the latest stop on my tour actually took me to Nashville, Tennessee for AxoniCom. That's Axonify's community conference where we bring together customers and partners and team members to talk about frontline oriented topics. And I got back from Nashville about a week ago. So I've taken some time to reflect on the experience. And truth be told, I've also needed some time to recover from the downright ridiculous amount of hot chicken that I had while I was in Nashville for 7 days. And I have a pro tip. Don't eat the Hattie B's right before you get on the plane. It's a ridiculously, deliciously bad idea. So just from me to you, something to think about when you're in Nashville. Anyway, what I'd like to do today is share some of my personal observations from the AxoniCom experience as a facilitator, as a speaker, as a storyteller, and a member of the Axonify community for almost 10 years at this point. So let's consider this the 5 biggest things that I learned at AxoniCom 2023. And number 5 on that list, you probably knew this was coming, it's AI. But the observation is that AI is exciting, but it needs purpose. It's 2023, and I was at a technology-oriented conference. So, of course, we spent a lot of time talking about the impact of artificial intelligence in the workplace. And we highlighted lots of Axonify's AI-powered features, both new and old, and we showcased some of the ideas that we're playing with in the lab right now. But the most important part of our AI conversation actually had nothing to do with the technology itself. It was more focused on the problems that we're trying to help frontline teams solve through AI-enabled technology. Because you see, AI is exciting, but AI with purpose is game-changing. And that's what we saw echoed in some of Axonify's latest Pulse research, where we asked frontline managers about the implementation of AI within their operations. And 64% of frontline managers said that the biggest barrier to introducing AI with their teams is people's lack of understanding of what it can do, understanding how they're going to directly apply it and how it's going to change their jobs. So when it comes to the AI conversation, it's important to focus on the problems you're trying to solve and the value you're trying to provide to people instead of getting lost in all the buzz and the hype that surrounds the technology itself. So that was number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is that jdwroteabook.com is a very real website. Now, I learned that at the event. Lots of people think I'm joking when I say, if you want to learn more about the modern learning ecosystem, go to jdwroteabook.com. And I'll admit, it's a ridiculous URL. That's why I picked it. It kind of matches the whole aesthetic, the whole brand thing I've got going on here. So I'm used to people laughing when I mention the website. And that's what happened when I dropped the website reference on the main stage day 1 at AxoniCom. But then later on, I found out people just think I'm making it up for laughs. So then I actually had to go back on stage on day 2 and reiterate that no, that's where you can actually find the book, jdwroteabook.com. But website aside, there was just so much love and support for the modern learning ecosystem at the event. I did a breakout session that was focused on themes from the book, and that was packed. I signed lots of copies of the book at Nashville, which was awesome because I didn't bring the book to Nashville. And it's just amazing when people not only buy your book and read your book, but then they bring it with them to an event and then they ask you to sign it. It is not something that I'm ever going to get over from an ego perspective. So overall, I'm super appreciative of all of the support the book has received over the past year, including from folks in the Axonify community. And if you want to learn more about the modern learning ecosystem, go to the very real website, jdwroteabook.com. That's number 4. Number 3, learning begins with empathy. So like I said, we spent a lot of time at AxoniCom talking about technology. You know, we had breakout sessions about how to use Axonify to build a great onboarding experience, how to craft a communications campaign, and overall how to maximize the value of the Axonify platform. But we spent even more time in Nashville talking about people the human experience of work. And this wasn't by accident. This was by design, because it's easy to get lost in features and content and bells and whistles when you're in learning and development. There's a lot of bells and whistles to discuss. So we made sure that we started our main stage conversation by focusing on people and talking about the importance of empathy, understanding what it's like to do the jobs in the cases of the people that we support, what it's like to be in their shoes, what it's like to experience what they experience day to day, and how our solutions fit into that experience. Because the reality is that many of us have never done the jobs that we support. And even those who have, it might have been a while since we were last in that position, dealing with the types of challenges that folks deal with, everything from unexpected situations, demanding customers, and potentially dangerous moments in the workplace. So if we want to provide an equitable, impactful support experience, we have to start from the human side of work. We have to start from a place of empathy. And that was something that was reiterated over and over again as part of our conversations at AxoniCom. Number 2, Nashville really is the music city. And I am confused as to how anyone from Nashville, or who spends a lot of time in Nashville, can hear anything that anyone is saying, because it's been a week since I got back and I still hear guitars. And I know a lot of people are very into live music. I am not one of those people. So I don't understand how anyone in that city has a conversation over the course of a meal, because all I could hear was live bands over here and then just lots of wooing happening over here from people who are on pedal bars, just like kind of rolling down the street in apparently what is a legal situation. I don't know. So what I would like to do now is give kudos to all of the otorhinolaryngologists out there for amazing work that they do in Nashville. And the number one thing that I learned as part of the AxoniCom experience is that we simply need more frontline conversations. I always say that the best learning that happens at an event, the real value of getting together in person, that happens in the hallways. It happens at lunch. It happens during after hours activities. Because of course, main stage panels are great. Breakout sessions are awesome. But the reason that we come together and dedicate all of this time away from already busy work schedules is to collaborate with people who are facing similar challenge to us every day. And that's what we heard time and time again from the Axonify community, is how great it was to have this opportunity to hear from people who are solving similar problems and finding out what works in real life. And unfortunately, there just aren't enough venues for frontline-focused conversations across our profession. Because if you think about it, you don't really see a lot of sessions or workshops or roundtables dedicated to the frontline workforce and frontline focused industries. And that's why I'm so excited when I do see these opportunities. For example, let's take Red Thread Research. They've been doing a lot of research into the frontline work experience and frontline technology this year. So you're definitely going to want to check out if you support a frontline team. They're doing a webinar on November 9th. I'll link in the description, link in the comments, where you can find out more information about that session. And then there's teams like Brian Richardson at Richardson Consulting, who's been facilitating roundtables focused on skill development for frontline employees, which has been a great conversation to take part in. And of course, we're going to continue to facilitate frontline focused discussions with the Axonify community. But still, I would like to see a brighter spotlight shown on the people who make up 80% of our global workforce, and frankly, who do most of the heavy lifting for both our organizations as well as our communities. And hopefully events like AxoniCom not only help fill this particular gap, but inspire others to take part in these types of conversations. So that is my short list of what I learned during my time at AxoniCom. What I'd like to do now is send a huge thank you out to everyone at Axonify, everyone including our team members, our partners, our customers, who came together to host a great event, but more importantly, a great, meaningful, timely conversation. And if you were able to join us in Nashville, I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. So please share those with me, reach out. I'd love to hear what type of conversations, what type of solutions you walked away with as part of the AxoniCom experience. And if you couldn't be there, be sure to follow me on LinkedIn, follow Axonify on LinkedIn as we share insights that we picked up from our frontline focused community. So overall, thank you so much for hanging out with me right now. Thanks for everything you do to enable your frontline team. I hope to see you on a future stop on the ecosystem tour. Next stop is actually in Indianapolis, where I'm going to be keynoting the Central Indiana ATD chapter's Learning Summit on November 10th. So I hope to see you there. Otherwise, until next time, be well. Thank you so much. Bye now.